Hello, YouTube, and everyone watching this. I just wanted to speak my mind a little bit about being a minority in a being an international student in Singapore, or wherever else you may be. If you're an international student, we may not share the same backgrounds, you know, mostly, but I'm sure you can get something out of this video. If you're an international student, or if you are planning to be an international student in another country other than your own, if you want to study in another country and you don't really look like the most of the people there. So, for instance, I'm in Singapore and I'm predominantly Burmese. I'm from Burma, so and here the closest people that the people that tend to look as close to me ethnically as Malays, and I tend to look my friends and the people here tend to confuse me as a Malay. Um, so it's not a bad thing. You know, the Malays are a minority here as well, but um, one thing I don't really like is the fact that because the Malay community is a minority here, the Chinese are large. There's the Chinese are a dominant ethnic race here in Singapore, so they're very hardworking Chinese people, but they tend to look down on Malays because they see them as lazy, and they're mostly in the lower. They're not. Excuse me. The Malays are they're not as well off as most of the Chinese people here. So most of them are below middle class, from what I can tell. These are not facts. This is just based off of my experience um, being here over a year in Singapore. So, okay, so what's it like being an international student who looks like a minority here, a minority in another country? Well, people tend to stereotype you a lot the first time they see you. Before they even know you, like mostly before you speak, like before you start talking to them, and like once they hear me talk, they immediately know I'm not Malay, or they either get sort of confused, as in like, okay, like who's this guy like trying to be, like, is this just another Malay guy like trying to sound, like a white guy, whatever, because it's kind of weird sometimes. Like when I go to food stalls, and then the people at the food stalls, like at the food court, if it's not a halal store, like they give me that look, like, what are you, like, why are you ordering like a non-halal food, like, um, but yeah, you get a lot of stereotypes. Um, it's good if you can look as close as possible, like, dress yourself, make yourself appear as close as possible to the natives, not natives, I mean like the people who live there, or their expected look, like the look that they expect out of everyone out of there. As in, like, okay, you don't want to look like a foreigner or an alien. You don't want to stand out. You just want to blend in. That's what I'm trying to say. Um, it's harder if you're white and you go to a black, like Africa, or like where there's a lot of black people. If you really stand out a lot, then I'm not sure like how that can help. How you can like really blend in or not, but for me, I look like a Malay, so that's what they expect of me. So I tend to present myself as in well, you know, clean, like educated, like a Malay, like upstanding Malay citizen. But I'm not, like But that's the look they expect of me, or else you're gonna get strange looks everywhere in the subways, train stations, everywhere you go. So, and trust me, it's not a good thing. You wanna um, you want to blend in as much as possible. You want to integrate with the society. You know, you want to make friends, not alienate people. That's the main goal here. So, in review, try to blend in with the people. If you're in another country, try to dress like them. You don't have to talk like them. Just be yourself. Um, they'll learn to accept you sooner or later. I mean, if you're good, So if you think you're good, just be yourself. Just your true self. You don't have to act like anyone. Just be the best version of yourself, and just try to blend in terms of appearances. All right.